sit next to me.
Hi, everybody.
Come on. Come here. Come here, good boy.
Who sits next to you? Turn around.
I knew you were gonna do that. Come on. Are you fiddle farting around? Hi guys. So obviously we're back in the nursery and we are in a completely different headspace than we were in the last time. And there's still a cat meowing in the freaking background. We're in a completely different headspace than we were in the video that I uploaded last Thursday. It's Sunday now, and we just wanted to sit down and do a little bit of an update because a lot of things have happened in the last 5 days. Has that been? Tuesday, yeah. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 5 days, and it's things that we really want to share. One, because you guys are all obviously following on with this journey, and for the people who have been praying, like, you need to hear this because it is so faith building for us, and I know it's going to be for every single person listening. So just a quick recap on what happened. You guys know, if you watched my video on Thursday, that we went into the doctor's office on Monday and we're told that the baby has some abnormalities and that we would have to go to a specialist the next day to get it confirmed that he has the possibility of having a condition called Spina Bifida, which is a neural tube defect in the lumbar spine. And basically what that is like the spine doesn't fully close, or it's not fully developed. So a sac develops on the lumbar spine. It doesn't have to be lumbar, it can be whatever part of the spine, but ours is in the lumbar. And it prevents, like, neurologically things from developing correctly, and it could prevent him from walking at all or properly, and some, like, function of the organs that are in, like, the lower region. It just, like, affects the function of them. So it's a pretty serious thing, and, I mean, it's a very serious thing, and it was very scary to have to be told that, and it was very hard for us, and it has been hard for us all week, but the literal outpouring of prayer and just love that so many people have shown us. Like 25 churches are praying for us all over the country, all over the world actually. People from literally all over the world, from like Thailand and Austria and Australia, are praying for this baby. And I get messages on Instagram on a daily basis just from people who I do not know, saying that either God gave them a word to speak over the baby, or told them that the baby was going to be healed, that he wouldn't have to have this surgery. And it's just like, I keep telling Craig and I keep telling everybody that I see that, like, there has been absolutely no room for doubt that God has not already healed this baby or is in the process of healing this baby, because of how much I have seen God move in this. Like, bigger than anything that I've ever seen, God is moving in every single part of this. And it was very evident today. So, and I don't know if we talked about it in the last video, but we said that we would potentially have to go to Cincinnati Children's Hospital to have intrauterine surgery. That was one of our options, and that's the option that we chose to go with instead of waiting until he's born to have surgery to help close his spine. And what we found out on Friday, they called us and said that if we were to have the surgery, we would have to relocate, which basically means move to Cincinnati for the next 4 months. And I would have to stay there and have round-the-clock care with complete bed rest, other than just like getting up and down and stuff. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically, that is not something that we really wanted to do, but it's obviously something we would 100% do if it needed to happen. We just didn't believe that we were going to need to, because we believe that this baby's already healed, and that's what we've been believing from the start. That, I mean, I said this in that other video, that we believe more than ever now, but we believe this whole week that when we go to Cincinnati and they look at that ultrasound screen, they're going to say, "Why are you here?" Or they're going to say, "I'm sorry, we can't find what they were talking about. He's completely normal." Last night at 8 p.m., our pastor texted us and was like, I felt it on my heart that you guys needed to come up on stage tomorrow, which is today, to be like an example of what I'm going to be talking about in the sermon, and have the body, like the church, pray over us.
On her, in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, that you would just minister. You know the precious life that's in her, for you have formed and shaped this precious young woman. You've given an incredible gift, and so we ask for your touch to flow through. God, we ask for protection over her body as well too. God, that you would bring to bear protection over her body. I also pray for my brother Craig right now.
That's what we did today, and the entire morning I have just felt like today is going to be a spiritual breakthrough day, and that 100% happened, okay? Do you want to say anything? I've been talking this entire time.
You do a good job.
Okay, so we, the pastor was like talking everything in the sermon, he was doing the sermon, and then we went up to the stage. We had the opportunity to share what's going on, share like the possibilities, the options that we have, and like the foreseeable future of what we would have to do if we had the surgery and everything. And he called the young adult ministry, which is the ministry that I'm part of at Pine Hills, and called all of them up to the front to pray over me, along with like the rest of the church. They just sat in their seats, and some of them came up to pray, I guess. I didn't know that, but and they prayed over me, laid hands on me, and then my pastor anointed me with oil, and the entire body, the entire church declared victory for this baby, that he's already healed, and that we would see the victory now. And I had a miracle happen to me that I don't know if I've ever talked about here on YouTube, maybe eventually, but I had my back healed, like literal miracle. And what happened when I was healed at my back was that my back got really, really hot, and I got up and I didn't have any pain anymore. The same exact kind of thing happened today, where people placed hands on my belly and my belly got really, really hot. And I just believe, like, I've never believed more, and I'm sure you don't, like, can say this too, but like, we've never believed more than we do today that the baby is healed, like, today. Like, we don't have to wait anymore, other than like in a week when we go to the doctor to figure it out, or to see the next ultrasound, which is so hard that we have to wait that long to be able to like confirm it, you know. But yeah, it's just the stories that we heard today, the people that came up to us who we do not know, who even though we've been a part of this church, we've never talked to before, came up to us and shared stories of their own victory, or like they were the person in the womb who needed the healing, and they got that, the miracles that God has done for them. And it's just like it was so surreal.
You know, we tell them so they can get a change in.
Yes, you need to talk a little bit.
After we made it out of the sanctuary,
Yeah.
we were walking out, and these two girls were looking at her, and they ran up and said, "Lexi, and like, we watch you on YouTube." And she was like, "Okay, well, that's pretty cool. You know, people, I don't know you guys, and you watch me on YouTube." And one of the girls goes to Pine Hills, and the other girl has never been to Pine Hills, and she just happened to invite her today. And also, earlier on, a few days ago or something, she sent her friend who had never been to Pine Hills a video of Lexi's on YouTube.
The video of me announcing the Spina Bifida.
Yeah, and she just happened to watch it, and when they were singing today, we were singing Unstoppable God, and they said, "Wow, this song is really perfect for, you know, Lexi's situation." They agreed that this service would just be, they would dedicate this service to her and, you know, the baby and the whole situation.
Keep in mind, they had no idea who I was, or that I went to the same church as them.
Yeah. So, you know, they were doing this not knowing her personally, not knowing that they were in the same building. And later on, when Pastor Mike said, "Well, we're gonna be having, you know, this couple come up on stage. They're going through something that is very, you know, relevant to the message and everything," and they kind of looked at each other like, "Well, no, it couldn't be." And then when he said Craig and Lexi, they looked at each other, started crying. It was like, no way, like a total God thing.
Yeah, like we were talking about that, like that in itself, like if that was the only story that we heard today, which it was not the only story we heard today, that would have been enough for me to be like, all right, 100% it's a sealed deal. Like, that doesn't happen unless God. And another story that's really quick is this girl messaged me and said that her church was probably at the same time that our church was going on. She had no idea that our church was going to be praying over us and declaring healing. And she and her mom were at church today. I don't even know who she is. I don't know where she lives. But she said that they were singing the song Sea of Victory by Elevation Worship. And they both separately were praying for me and did not know that each other was praying for me until later they were talking about it. And she said that her mom felt in such a way that she's never felt before as she was praying with me, that she was losing her breath. I'm just going to read you the message because it's like better than me trying to explain it. It says, my mom said she was losing her breath during her praying over your baby this morning. I can't even describe the way she told me she felt. Every time we would sing, I'm going to see a victory, it was like I could feel the healing happening. It's an honor to be able to pray for you and your little babe today. What she didn't know was that probably this exact time, my church was praying a victory over us, and healing was literally happening. So I told her, I was like, the same time that you were praying from wherever you are in the world for healing, like, so was my church, and that was happening. That's just like a huge example of every single prayer that you guys pray, whether it's just for like confidence or like whatever it is for us. It is like being heard, and it is so meaningful. And I don't know if you want me to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. We were praying in the car just like a few minutes ago when we got home, and Craig said that, I don't even remember how exactly you said it, like, thank you that every single prayer that's prayed is mending a part of him. And when he said that, I was just like, that's so profound to think that, to like imagine that every prayer that you guys pray, or that we sit in this room and pray over the baby, is literally healing or mending a part of him. And that's just a huge reason why prayer is so important and it's so powerful, because even if you can't see the manifestation of your prayer, it obviously is working, because I just believe more than ever that we claimed the victory today. We can't necessarily see it yet, but I just cannot wait to get in the car after we do the ultrasound and record a video saying that the doctor said that he's a perfectly fine baby. Like, I told Craig that I don't know, one, how we ever thank God enough for this, and two, how we ever thank the people who were praying and who were sending messages and just declaring victory. Like, I don't know how to thank you guys for that. I don't know if I can, but just please know that this is not possible without your prayers. It's not possible. One thing that we do really want to ask is that in your prayers, at least I want to ask this, in your prayers, we've changed our prayers from God if you would to God thank you that you have. And I think that is in itself such a huge thing, because a guy came up to us today and said, power of life and death is in the tongue. So speak life over your baby. Don't speak that you're going to have to go to Cincinnati. Don't speak that it's, it might or it might not happen. Speak that it will, and God's name will not disappoint us. Like, whatever happens, which we know it already has happened, God will not disappoint, and his name will not return void. His word will not return void. And we just believe that. So pray with us and just thank God that he already has.
I did it again.
Thank God that he is already moved in. We're just here to say that we serve an unstoppable God. Like, an unstoppable God. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here, for your prayers, and just like the community that's being built here is freaking silly. So we love you, and we will
see you next time.
Peace.